Okay, I got you. Child's pose. Okay, I'm gonna take you over to my own. We gotta do a little. Sorry. Okay. Pull this back. So taking up some space between your shoulder blades. And actually, if any of you who have any kind of like shoulder tension, just from really working those chaturangas this weekend, instead of reaching your arms like forward like this, make like a slight diamond shape. So that the hands are in, the elbows are out. And as you're in your child's pose, you press down into the hands. You kind of traction the elbows away from one another. So it'll feel like you're kind of like trying to pull your mat apart and press down into the floor. Create space between the shoulder blades, broaden the collarbones, and that usually gives you like a nice stretch through here. Nice, deep breath in. And big breath out. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Nice, deep breath in. Big breath out. Lift up the torso. So actually, let's do this. Reach your hands nice and long. As you inhale, round the spine. Try to pull your hands back towards you, lifting the center of the spine up to the sky, rolling the shoulders away from the spine. So elbows are really wrapping down as you draw back. Walk it over towards your right. Left fingertips reach a little bit further forward. Take a really nice deep breath into the left side. Open, expand. As you exhale, pressing the rib cage towards the left, squeezing right shoulder towards right hip. Again, inhale, a little more length, a little more reach. Exhale, a bit more stretch, pressing left shoulder, left hip to the left. And then switch, walking over towards your left. Right fingertips reach a little bit further forward, it won't catch it. Use your breath to create space between each rib, stretching the muscle further, the fascia further with your breath. As you exhale, pressing the rib cage to the right, rolling the right shoulder down and away. Slowly come back into center. Pressing down, so let your chest melt here for a second. And then do the opposite again. Press into the mat, round the upper spine. Roll the shoulder blades away from one another and pull them down and away from your ears. And release. Inhale, we come up, rounding curl, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, wave the spine up and back to downward facing dog. Work your way through your feet. Get into the back of the calves, the back of the thighs. And if you haven't yet, initiating your ujjayi into your nose, out of your nose. As you inhale, lift high to the tiptoes. Drop both heels over to the right side of your mat. So this is a tilted down dog. Keep your chest pressing back, drop your heels to the right, and keep pressing back like you do in down dog. Squeeze right shoulder towards right hip, just like we did in that child's pose variation. And keep lifting the hips high. You should feel a nice and deeper stretch to the left side torso. Inhale high to the tiptoes. Exhale, drop your heels to the left. And you can do whatever you like with your feet. Like sometimes I have one foot popped up, one foot flat, one stepping on top of it. Like whatever you need to do to really open and expand that right side. There's no right or wrong way here. Inhale, high to tiptoes. Feet hip width apart, so at least 2 knuckle widths side by side. Roll your sit bones a little bit higher. Press out of your shoulders. Press your chest a little bit closer. And then keeping your heels high, your tailbone high, bend your knees. Turbo dog. Press forward, high plank, elbows wrap back, arms hug into the midline. We hold. 3. Elbows wrap back, arms hug in. 2. Pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in, hips a little higher, lengthen your low back. Look forward, press forward off your toes, shoulders shift past the wrists. Don't drop your hips. Lean back, downward facing dog, hands to feet, back edge of your mat, grabbing opposite elbows to hang here. So if you're having any like jammy wrists already, you can bring your hands, palms flat to floor, bend your knees. You can step your feet onto your hands, or you can do it the way we normally do, about halfway through class. Bringing the hand right underneath the foot, toes right up to wrist crease, and use your toes to massage those wrists. But I'll get into a couple more stretches near the end. So releasing the hands, remember, you're always gripping the mat with your fingertips, active palms. We come up halfway lift, flat spine. Press away from the shins for this one. And find that pubic bone to belly button, upper ribs in also here. So don't let that belly splay. And release. Again, inhale, come up halfway lift, shoulder blades squeeze, collarbones wide. Exhale to fold. Last one, halfway lift. Forward fold. Walk yourself out, downward facing dog. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Nice and wide. You're going to lift up high to your tiptoes. Look at your belly button. And then start to press away from your toes, rounding the spine high to the sky, round and ripple forward. So we come to like a wide plank. From here, let your hips start to fall to the floor. Start to wrap your shoulder blades together around your spine. Knees bend to hit the floor if you need to, so you're not in such a deep back bend. Untuck the toes, big stretch, opening up through the front body. Wrap your elbows in towards you. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. Exhale, we release all the way down. 3 times we come up. Inhale, Cobra for 1. You come up as high as you like and release. Come back up for 2. Inhale. Oh, and release. Oh, I'm so excited to practice today. Inhale, we come up, Cobra. We hold here for 3. Shoulders away from your ears. Pull the heel of the hand towards your hips. Slingshotting your chest forward. Don't have to be high. 3. Just high on life. 2. Come all the way down. Take your right arm out beside you, wrist and shoulder, 1 straight line. Please, no weird angles. 3 o'clock. Palm down. Roll over onto your right side. Left foot comes to the floor. Behind you, bend the knee. Come back into center and switch sides. Take it easy. These first ones, remember, shoulders very delicate. Left arm out. 9 o'clock. Not 10, not 8. Right at 9. Deep breath into your chest. Exhale, soften your shoulder blades. And slowly come back down to the floor. This time we're lifting up into the Cobra. Actually a Sphinx, so you're on your forearms. My bad, sorry, come back down, Sphinx. Slide let's start different today. Left leg up beside you. Just in line with your hip. It doesn't have to be up here. This actually doesn't help you. 90 degrees. Take an inhale, lift your elbows. Take your right arm, weave it underneath you, and you bring the back of the shoulder all the way across the midline of the mat. So really go under yourself and then roll open into that twist. So there's two kind of variations of this twist that you can do. One is deeper, one is still deep, but not as deep. So if you keep the front of the left hip bone and hip flexor facing the floor, as you move into this twist, this is a much deeper articulation. If you're here and you're having a hard time breathing, remember your breath is your best teacher. If you're having a hard time breathing, you're gonna roll into a lesser version. Use your inhale to get nice and long. Exhale to rock and roll back. So if it is too deep for you, you're gonna roll so you feel that left hip directly on top of the right. Inhale to get long. Press your top hip down and away from you, wherever you are. Exhale, rock and roll away.